Goal is to get a 428 or higher on the Aspire test. So basically just do good, like best you can. And hopefully you reach that mark so that way you qualify for a grade bump. Even if you got an A last semester, the grade bump would apply to both semesters. So if for some reason you end up with a B, yeah, that was totally my bad. Sorry. So even if you end up with a B, then you will have secured your A. So just work really hard on it. You get 70 minutes or 75, I can't remember. And what I read is that the number of questions is anywhere from like 24 to 39. So I would say have it similar to be like your practice test. If you were short on time on your practice test, use one of the strategies that I told you to. Do all the problems that you know how to do first, and then go back and spend time on the ones that you don't know how to do. Make like a little list on your scratch paper of the ones that you need to go back and check. And then once you've checked it, you have a final answer for it, cross it off. That's what I normally did. And then even though like I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back and check this, I would still put an answer and then just keep track on my scratch paper which ones I need to go back and fix. So just use that as a strategy too. Some kids, I tell that to, and it kills me to see them spending literally 30 minutes on like 5 problems. So there's way more than 5 problems on there. You need to keep it moving. If you don't know how to do it, come back to it later. What else? What answer option did you normally see that, like on the answer key, that they picked if it was multiple choice? Like what letter did they use the most? C. So that's a good strategy to kind of think about. So hold on, let me push this down. All right, if you literally have no clue what you are doing, literally none at all, you can't eliminate any of the answer options, then maybe go with C. All right, because that is the one that they pick the most. What else? If you don't know, maybe it's an explanation type problem and you don't know at all how to do that one, just write something in there. Don't spend too much time on it, but just throw something in there. Like if the question is about squares and triangles, well, what do you know about squares and triangles? Write that in the box. Usually if you throw enough crap against the wall, something sticks. So don't leave it completely blank. Don't say IDK, I guess, educated guess, like sometimes you guys tell me on your scratch paper. All right, just throw something in there and move on. Come back to it later if you have time. So with that being said, there are some resources in Schoology, like if you were absent last week and missed Friday, well, you missed when we went over the answers to the practice test. So if you need to see that, it's in here, the answers to it. If you need to see what the question was, I do have a file uploaded in here under this link, or just go to Test Now and go to the exemplars. So do that if you were absent Friday. I also uploaded this practice test key with work shown. I also put it in this week's folder just so that nobody would miss it. All right. In this file, I try to show as much work as I can and explain as much as I can. If you're still confused about something, why that answer is the way it is, feel free to email me and I'll explain it to you. All right, but on here, I wrote as much as I could to try and explain these problems. So check them out if you still have questions from something from the practice test. You know, they're all worked out in here. What else? What else? In this folder, I also uploaded a conversion chart, which is really just like measurements that everyone should know. So they probably won't give you these measurements on the Aspire, but it kind of stinks like if you forgot, like the one about cheese slices with pounds and ounces. Well, if you forgot how many ounces are in a pound, then that kind of stinks because then you can't really solve that one. Even though you might know what to do, You needed that information, which they don't give you. So do take time and look at this, refresh your memory. So not necessarily now, but at home, make sure that you know a foot is 12 inches, that a yard is 3 feet, that a mile is 5,280 feet, that a pound is 16 ounces, that a ton is 2,000 pounds, a minute is 60 seconds, a day is 24 hours, a year is 12 months or 365 days. Those I feel like a lot of people probably already know. It's these ones that everyone forgets, but I have a feeling they'll be on your test tomorrow, so review them. That a cup is 8 fluid ounces, that a pint is 2 cups, that a quart is 2 pints, that a quart is 4 cups, that a gallon is 4 quarts, things like that. Formulas, I think, so there's some that they don't expect you to know, so I'll look at the practice test for that. Some really complicated ones, they'll give you the formula, but some of the easier ones, they expect you to know. So like, let's see. All right, so like area of a circle. That formula you needed for this problem, but they didn't give it to you. So if you don't know what the formula is for area of a circle, commit it to memory. It's area equals pi r squared. So r stands for radius. What does radius mean? Like, what's the difference between a radius and a diameter? Couple pictures right here. So someone explain it to me. Explain it to me like I'm a first grader. What's the difference between radius and diameter? All right, we don't have all day, so someone just look at the pictures. What's the difference? Radius would be like half of the circle. It's the measurement from the inside to like an outer edge, like the center to an outer edge, where diameter is all the way across. So radius would be half of the diameter. So if they give you the diameter and you know the formula needs a radius, well then take half of the diameter, and things like that. This one, this particular problem, we knew the radius was 10 miles because it said that the cell phone tower goes 10 miles in all directions. That creates a circle with a radius of 10 miles. So that's why we plugged in 10 over here. I highly recommend that you bring your own calculator, because like for me, I would just plug in this part into my calculator. But since some of you probably won't have your own calculator, you'll have to use the one function calculator that's in your test. I had to simplify it a little bit before I put it in the calculator. So like exponents first, what's 10 squared? 100. And then what's the approximation for pi? 3.14, that they also expect you to know. So then 3.14 times 100, I get 314. And then in the instructions, it says rounded to the nearest 10 square miles. So rounded to the 10 spot. You need to know how to round things appropriately. If you round incorrectly, because this is like computer graded, it'll probably mark it wrong. Like, I don't think someone's going back in and checking what you put in there, except for like the explanation ones. So if it says to round to a specific spot, you need to round to a specific spot. So like, do you remember your rounding rules? So if it says round to the 10 spot, well, the 10 spot is right here where the 1 is. Whatever spot it tells you to round to, look at the number to the right of it. If that number is 0 through 4, then the number that's in the 10 spot will stay the same, and this will change to 0. If it's 5 through 9, the number that's to the right of it, you round up. So like it would be 320 if it was 5 through 9 over here. But it's not, it's 314, so that's why I rounded, it was just 310. Good. Another test strategy, so say you have no idea what's going on, you can't even eliminate one of the options. If they give you your answer options as numbers like this, pick like the middle number. Don't pick the two lowest or the two highest. Pick the middle number, and again, that's only if you can't eliminate any of them. All right. Usually the middle number is how they set up the answer key. They'll pick two answers higher, two below. Questions about anything so far? All right, other area formulas you'll probably have to know are area of a rectangle, which is what? That would be area of a triangle. So area of a rectangle is base times height. Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. Good. So just commit those to memory. These are all in Schoology, so you can check them out later. For the rest of the time, we'll play Kahoots. So your points for the day, just make sure you're filling out that template I gave you. I'll put the code back up. One more thing. If you missed Wednesday, I did record me talking about the Aspire, like how much time you get, things like that. So check that video out if you feel like you need that information. Make sure that you charge your Chromebooks tonight and bring them tomorrow with your charging cable. Get a good night's sleep, wake up early, eat breakfast, bring a snack and water for tomorrow. I don't know why they make us keep the time also, but if you have time remaining on your screen, keep going. Don't stop just because the person proctoring says to stop. Keep going, make sure everything's answered. I don't know if I have any upperclassmen in here, but if I do, just know that you're still responsible for what we do tomorrow after the Aspire. So there's going to be a lesson tomorrow after the Aspire because I don't have anything else for you guys to do other than learn something new. So classes will be like 20 or 25 minutes. Sophomores and seniors will stay home. So those of you will still be responsible for watching that video lesson. Questions? All right, so then join the Kahoots.